For this video, I'm going to talk about AAD, Azure Active Directory, and join. So here you can join devices that are available in Azure to Azure AD, and operating systems that work are Windows 10 devices except Windows 10 Home, so just any of the licenses above that, like Professional or Enterprise or any of those. And another operating system is Windows Server 2019, but Server Core is not supported. If you have devices joined in your on-premises environment to Active Directory, they can be registered with Azure AD, and those operating systems are Windows 10, 8.1, and 7, and Windows Server 2008 R2, 2012 R2, 2016, and 2019. So let me actually create a Windows machine. So type in Windows 10. And we don't want to preview, we want to create. And let's do Windows 10 Enterprise and 1909. Let me see which one. Windows 10 Enterprise version 1909. And it's creating a virtual machine. Let's put it in this. Actually, let me see what's in that resource group. I don't know why I didn't delete it. Is there? Oh. Let me just delete this. Okay. I'll come back after I delete this. Anyway, let's just create a new resource group, new RG, new VM. That's the image we want, Windows 10 Enterprise. Fill this stuff out. And if you have an eligible Windows 10 license, then click it. And this is fine. Let's create a new virtual network client VNet. I'll leave everything else as is. Okay. And I'll create it and I'll come back after it's ready. So while that's being spun up, let's go to Azure AD. And here's where you can manage the devices to join. So the devices blade. So looks like just devices, see? So go to device settings blade. So the first setting is saying who is allowed to join devices to Azure AD. And by default it's all, so everyone can, but maybe if you want to change it to only certain members can, and you add them here by doing that. Or you should say no one can, but I'll leave it at all. Second one's about registering your devices, so if you have on-premises devices you can say everyone can or no one can. And right now it's not letting me choose that, any of them. And there's multi-factor authentication to register or join devices, that's set to off. Here you have manage additional local admins on all Azure AD joined devices. So I'm going to click that. So here you could add additional assignments when it comes to device administrators. So when a device is joined to Azure AD will add the following security principles to the local administrators group on the device. And they are the Azure AD Global Administrator role, the Azure AD Device Administrator role, and the user performing the Azure AD join. So if you want to add any more assignments than the ones I just listed, this is where you do it. So that's it for the device settings. So let's go to the Windows VM and connect to it. So I'll come back after I RDP'd into it. So now I'm going to join this Windows VM to Azure AD. So I'll just say yes here. So just type in join and access worker school and say connect. And say join this device to Azure Active Directory. and it's gonna ask for account. So let's just go to our users, Azure AD, users. I'll make a new one real quick. It says Chris, whatever, I'll do Chris. Let's create the password. It's the initial one though, so it's gonna change. Everything else is fine. Alright, so Chris. So just take this. Okay, that's the password. Update the password. Sign in. Alright, so now you say join. Alright, so this device is connected to default directory, and default directory Azure AD. Alright, good. And now if we go to devices, well, total number of devices 1, here it is, so we joined it. So this is how to join a device to Azure AD.